Why do I have hormone imbalance? Are your hormones imbalanced? Or do you just have a feeling that they might be out of balance based on some of the symptoms that you've been experiencing? Or maybe you've been told by your doctor or specialist that you have some hormones that are either high or low, such as estrogen, progesterone, or testosterone. So let's discuss why you would typically have hormone imbalance on this Instagram and Facebook Live tonight. Hello, I am so thrilled to be here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Michelle Cooke. I am a period and hormone naturopath, a natural fertility educator. Ooh, we're losing Instagram. And an emotion release technique practitioner. So I help women struggling with their menstrual cycles have easy, pain-free periods, balanced hormones, and emotional well-being. I'm the founder and director of Reproductive Wellness, and I see patients both online and face-to-face. So if you have any questions or comments as we go through the live, be sure to pop them in the chat box below, and I'd love to answer those for you. And also be sure that if you are watching live, to hit the likes and the love hearts if you're enjoying the content. What are hormones? So hormones are your body's messenger service, okay? So they're chemical messengers, and they deliver and communicate instructions that particular organs or cells need to know. So they're produced by different glands in the body, and it might be a gland sending a message to another gland on what steps that is needed to take place next. Or it could be a gland talking to a particular cell in the body, sending it instructions. So it's like a bit of a messenger delivery service. And this is all in aid of achieving a particular goal. What is hormone imbalance? So this is when there's not enough or there's too much of either one or more hormones in the body. And when this happens, your body will certainly let you know by producing a wide array of fun symptoms. And what particular symptoms you have really depends on the specific hormones that are out of balance and whether they're high or low. So there'll be different symptoms according to what you've got going on at a personal level. Types of hormones. So there's several different variations of hormones in the body, produced by a number of different glands, okay? So when people typically think of hormones, I really feel like the first ones that come to mind are the sex hormones, or the girly hormones. So a lot of people think of these two types of sex hormones, such as estrogen and progesterone. However, we need to remember that these are just two of so many different hormones in the body produced by various different glands, not just the ovaries. And we need to remember the interconnectedness of all these gland producing or hormone producing glands and what sort of impact they have on each other, not just always focusing on, oh, hormones, that's just estrogen, progesterone, right? That's just the ovarian hormone production. No, it's all about the complex web of how they interrelate to each other and hormone imbalance that needs to be taken into account as well. Why do I have hormone imbalance? So when you have imbalanced hormones, we need to remember that this is the end game. So this is just part of the story, and it's what has eventuated as a result of other things going on, which I'll talk about soon. So you can't fix the hormone balance unless you actually factor in why they've ended up like that in the first place. It's not enough to just focus on correcting the hormones directly. So, taking a herb, for example, a herbal medicine to balance out that hormone, that's not enough. We need to look at why has it ended up being imbalanced in the first place. So we need to ask why, as I was mentioning, and we need to unpack what are those underlying causes that have led us to this hormone imbalance, which is just your body basically telling you that something is wrong, something's gone awry, and there's reasons for that. But yeah, that's why you end up with symptoms of hormone imbalance, because your body's just trying to let you know that something's not quite right. So these are some of the causes of hormone imbalance. Let's discuss them. So there is nutrient deficiencies. This is a big one that I see all the time. So it might be things like iodine deficiency, vitamin D, iron, those types of things can definitely impact your hormone balance and hormone production and all those types of things. Gut issues. This is also a big one as well. The gut has such a big role in managing estrogen levels. For example, there's an estrobolome. I read something recently actually in a research paper that said that there might be a testosterone, I think that's how you say it. So it's managing testosterone levels. So it's a specific family of bacteria that actually manage that. So that's super interesting. But anyway, going back, sorry, I get very sidetracked. So with gut issues, there could be constipation. When there's constipation, there's nowhere for the estrogen to go. It needs to leave the body. It's done its job in the body and it needs to leave. There's nowhere for it to go. It gets reabsorbed and that leads to estrogen dominance or too much estrogen. So there's a hormone imbalance in itself. There might be dysbiosis. So that means a disruption to your microbiome. So it's microbiome is relating to good and potentially bad or opportunistic bugs that live in your gut. So there can be things like bacteria, fungi, viruses, and negative sort of intruders as well. Also along with parasites, that's another one that can cause dysbiosis as well. There can be poor digestion, that can also lead to hormone imbalance. Liver dysfunction, so your liver's a bit sluggish or it's not working well. Poor detoxification capacity, so the toxins have nowhere to go and that's impacting your hormones. There can be sleep hygiene issues. So when I talk about that, I'm referring to there's a lack of good quality sleep. Perhaps you're waking up during the night. Maybe there's trouble getting to sleep. Maybe there's not enough sleep. Maybe you're scrolling too close to bedtime as well. And that definitely does affect your sleep, by the way. Stress. Stress is a huge one, whether you're aware of it or not. And we need to remember that stress is not just emotional or mental. It can be physical stress in the body. It can be due to environmental things as well. That can cause the stress on the body. So it's not just emotions and sort of mental health that come into play there. We need to always remember that. Okay, so not eating well. So this could mean eating too much junk food. Perhaps you're not eating nourishing food with the nutrients that your body actually needs and that your hormones need. Maybe you're not eating enough. Maybe there's low protein in the diet. Another one is eating disorders. This can affect your hormone balance as well. Being overweight or being underweight. Working yourself too hard. Not honoring the need for rest and self-care, exercising too much or not enough, inflammation, that's a biggie, imbalanced blood sugar control, so there could be high glucose and or insulin, trauma, that's a big one. Not being hydrated enough, so not drinking enough water or not having enough electrolytes. Fasting. Toxins. Now this is massive. It has such a huge impact on your hormone balance and hormone ratios in general as well. So this can include things like EDCs. So EDCs are endocrine disrupting chemicals. They can be pesticides, herbicides, pollution, and also heavy metals, just to name a few. So all of those things can be the reason why you have hormone imbalance. So we need to be going back to that. Why do we actually have the hormone imbalance? It's just the end game, okay? And as I said before, it's not enough just to address that hormone imbalance. We need to dig deeper and see actually why did we arrive at that place in the first place? So this is essentially what a period and hormone naturopath will delve into. So balancing your hormones by addressing those deeper root causes, those causative factors that I mentioned before. So if you would like some support with your hormone balance, or you think that your hormones might be in balance, or maybe you definitely know, I would love to help you. So be sure to go ahead and book an appointment. If you're watching on Instagram, there's a link in my bio. If you're watching on Facebook, I'll pop a link down below. If you're watching on YouTube, there is a link in the description. Okay. Okay, so remember that all of my Instagram and Facebook lives are actually up on my website. So if you go to reproductivewellness.com.au/blog, they will all be listed there. So there'll be the video at the top and all the written description underneath for more of you visual learners. So I've got both on there. So if you've missed out on any in the past, you can go back and catch up and see what I've been speaking about there. And FYI, I will be here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. But at the moment, just remember it's Australian Eastern Daylight Saving Time, talking about women's health, periods, hormones, and menstrual cycles. So I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. And I thank you so very much for watching. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, be sure to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any future videos. And I would like to thank you so very much for joining me. Have a good evening. Thank you. Bye.